say this series hasn't gone that well for the Phillies. Raul Ibanez looked good in game one, a 3-run home run. That tied it against Tyler Clippard. But then Ryan Zimmerman off the bench with a pinch-hit single in the top of the 10th inning. That brought home the eventual game-winning run for the Washington Nationals in the first of that day-night doubleheader. Game number 2. Well, Danny Espinosa, who has really been a thorn in the Phillies' side, he has 7 home runs this year against the Phillies. That was one of them. And then Ross Detweiler, the starting pitcher in game number 2, came up with a base hit that brought home Espinosa. And then Drew Storen, for the second time that day, picked up a save. Last night, game 3, Vance Worley was rolling, except for 2 two-run home runs. The first one by Ramos, the second one by Espinosa. The Phillies did make a run, but things were certainly circling around the Washington Nationals' way as they were able to put away game 3, which means that the Phillies go into the series finale here at Citizens Bank Park, the final home game of the regular season, with a 5-game losing streak. It's their longest since 2010. Their 98 wins, part of that, the success at home this year. 52-28 going into this ball game with 77 home runs. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Chris Wheeler. Sarge is doing a little radio tonight, so he'll rejoin us tomorrow night. Well, the home season has gone very well for the Phillies, except for this 5-game losing streak. Tonight, they'll have to contend with the Nationals once again and with Danny Espinosa.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it. This time of the year, this stuff is happening after this great season, but they clinched and right now struggling a little bit. And one of the reasons, Tom, as you said, is this guy, Danny Espinosa. He's hurt the Phillies all year. Got Cliff Lee for a couple of home runs in a game in Washington, and then in the start the other night, just for good measure, hits one right out there into the bullpen, a deep home run. Then last night, hit a 2-run home run off Vance Worley. The Phillies had the lead at that time, 3-2, the only time they've had the lead in the series. And boom, just like that, the lead was gone. So this guy's a good-looking young player. They have some talent right now, do the Washington Nationals. They're going to get better and better. And this is what Espinosa has done this season against the Phillies. You look at his overall numbers, and he's having a pretty good year. You look at his numbers against the Phillies, he's having a great year. Yeah,
in fact, he's hitting well over 300 against the Phillies, as you saw, and his 7 home runs, the most against the Phillies by one player since Jose Reyes did it couple years ago. So tonight it's the final home game of the regular season here at Citizens Bank Park. It's Fan Appreciation Night. Roy Oswalt, last time the Phillies won, he was on the mound. Brad Peacock, boy, what a great year he had in AA and AAA for the Washington Nationals. Well, the fans have been unbelievable here at Citizens Bank Park since this ballpark opened. This year, well, the sellout streak is at 81 in 2011, over 200 here at the ballpark. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota offers fuel efficiency you'll love, only better. By Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online, only at southwest.com. By Xfinity, only from Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. By Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And by Independence Blue Cross. No matter where you are in life or business, we have plans that fit. Go to plansthatfit.com.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Tonight's national anthem at Citizens Bank Park. It is Fan Appreciation Night here at the Yard, and there's a lot of energy in the ballpark tonight. The final regular season home game of the year before the Phillies hit the road and get set for a 6-game road trip to finish off the regular season, then, of course, prepare for the postseason. The last time the Phillies won a game, Roy Oswalt was on the mound, so they're hoping that's a good omen tonight to try to end this 5-game losing streak. Oswalt's just now beginning his warm-up tosses, and he's trying to reach the 500 mark before the Phillies hit the road, and he'll have a chance to make one more start before the end of the regular season. Let's take a look at the Nationals starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at shortstop, Ian Desmond. Batting second is the right fielder, Roger Bernardino. Ryan Zimmerman hits third. Mike Morse is in left field batting cleanup. Lance Nix is over at first base. He'll bat fifth. Danny Espinosa is the 6-hole hitter. Rick Ankiel's in center field batting seventh. And then Jesus Flores and Brad Peacock. And they'll face right-hander Roy Oswalt, making his 22nd start of the year. He's 8-9 with a 3.66 earned run average.
Yeah, he wants to continue, Tom. The Phillies want him to continue just throwing the baseball well the way that he is. You mentioned last time out he was really good in that clincher against the Cardinals. The last game the Phillies won, that was on Saturday night. He had really good stuff, had a real hop on his fastball, had great command, could throw it to really anywhere he wanted, both sides of the plate, up and down. Southwest Airlines scouting report on him. Pretty good numbers against Washington. He had that strange start this year that he was ready to go and then they couldn't go because of the rain. Then he pitched the next night. Time now for our Nissan keys to the final home game of this season, the final regular season home game. Well, this is the final game of an amazing home season here at this ballpark. And why not end it on an up note? It's been kind of a drag the last few days. People are getting nervous everywhere you go. What's wrong? You're going to make it? Are they going to lose in the playoffs? They'll be all right.
Try to get the offense going. Try to couple that with the good starting pitching, which they've done all year long. Ian Desmond will lead it off for the Nationals here at the top of the first. 248 hitter, 8 home runs, 44 runs batted in. He's had a little bit of a renaissance since being moved back into the leadoff spot. And there's the first pitch of the night. It's a fastball taken for a strike. So we're underway.
They just like to play a good game, too, or a couple before they go into postseason, because they've been a little ragged lately. They haven't played real. The baseball they played has not been real crisp.
Last start, Oswalt's fastball topped out at 94. Now, he didn't throw that consistently at 94, but he hit it a few times, which is a good sign. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Desmond. And a fly ball, shallow right field. Playable for John Bowker. Actually, that carried pretty well. A few steps from the track, went away. During the 2011 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. That'll bring Roger Bernardino to the plate. He has good numbers in limited at-bats against Oswalt in his career, 4 for 13. And he shows bunt, takes outside, according to Eric Cooper, the home plate umpire. Bernardino has pretty much split time between the majors and the minors this year. He was a fixture in the outfield last season for the Nationals. I think a lot of their fans were surprised when he was sent back down to the minor leagues. And he's out in front of an off-speed pitch, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Bernardino's playing right field tonight for Jason Worth. Now, Worth could be playing center, which is where he might be playing next year, but Jason's out with a sore elbow. There's Jason. They think he'll be back at some point this weekend. Chase Utley to his left. Bernardino didn't really bother to run, so it turned out to be an easy play. 2 outs.
The Braves are probably already in Washington on an off day today, preparing for their weekend series. The Cardinals, well, they had a nice lead on the Mets, and then they're hanging on right now in the 9th inning. That's been the one thing for the Cardinals this year. Even though they're hot, their bullpen at the end of the game is, you don't know.
Well, Jason Mott is in now for the Cardinals. At least he was. And I think Salas is in. Here's Ryan Zimmerman with 2 outs, and he swings at the first pitch and fouls it away.
You remember the other night, Mott couldn't finish the game here. And if Salas finished that one, didn't he?
It was either Salas or McClellan.
It was Rhodes and Dotel.
Or Dotel.
Yeah. Rhodes came in and then Dotel. Well, we were close.
Dotel had already pitched in today's ball game, so he wasn't available to finish the 9th, or at least pitch in the 9th for the Cardinals.
It was 6-2 going into the 9th inning, and now the board says it's 6-4 with the bases loaded and 1 out. So that's the one part of their club right now that's still an adventure. But if they win that game, they're a game behind the Braves.
And a breaking ball just missed. I think Oswalt wanted that one. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Zimmerman. There's Vance Worley. He pitched last night, allowed 2 2-run home runs.
And Espinosa has just been killing the Phillies this year, and he had one last night off Vance.
Little roller to third. That's going to be a tough play. Or bare hands, throws off balance in time to get Zimmerman. That's a good play by Pete Orr. Zimmerman thought he was safe. It's a 1-2-3 first inning for Roy Oswalt. On to the bottom of the first. The Nationals 0. The Phillies coming up. Incredible. It's another sellout here tonight. I'm sure there's millions watching around the Delaware Valley. This is Fan Appreciation Night at the ballpark, but it really is Fan Appreciation Night all around the Delaware Valley for what they've done to help support this ball club over the last handful of years. Let's take a look at Charlie Manuel's lineup for tonight's game. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rowland. Shane Victorino bats second. Chase Utley third. Raul Ibanez is the cleanup hitter, followed by Ross Gload and Carlos Ruiz. And the bottom third of Bowker, who makes his first start with the Phillies, or an Oswalt. He'll face right-hander Brad Peacock, a 23-year-old that has essentially come out of nowhere. he's wearing the round he was picked in on his jersey. That's where he was picked, 41st round.
Yeah, you never know, do you? And they say he really has a live arm and is a tremendous young prospect. Can throw in the mid-90s, has a knuckle curve, and a pretty good changeup. Here's our scouting report on him with the curve changeup, 91 to 95. And as Tom said, 41st round in 06.
Jimmy Rollins leads it off for the Phillies, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Rollins. You might look at Peacock's numbers and say that's a really good year. That's not the way his career began. In fact, prior to this season, he was 19 and 35 with an earned run average over 4 in the minor leagues.
Yeah, he had a good year this year at AA and AAA at Harrisburg, and was it Syracuse? Is their AAA club?
Yep. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to Rollins. There's a changeup that Rollins out in front of, and it's a foul. It's 2-2.
Look at the way this team all week has pitched this lineup backwards. A lot of teams have started doing that too. By backwards, you mean don't throw a fastball in a fastball count, 2-1. And there's a changeup from a rookie. And you talk about a rookie. You haven't been out there that many times.
Rollins hits it in the air to left, playable for Mike Morse. Last night, the top 4 hitters for the Phillies were 0 for 16 against the Nationals. Well, prior to the ball game, Brad Peacock, obviously like any pitcher, firing away in the bullpen. Jim Lett, bullpen coach, is there. Then at the end, he tossed the baseball to his dad, Jerry, who has been able to follow Brad throughout the course of his career. It must be a great thrill.
That is a great scene.
Yep.
Right there, huh? How cool will have that be to be up there and have your son toss a baseball to you like that?
Well, there they are, and they've watched their son get the first 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
He's from Palm Beach, Florida. Florida kid.
Mom's wearing a Phillies shirt underneath that Nationals jersey. Well, he has 2 quick outs. And here comes Chase Utley.
He's pitching against Chase Utley, huh? I got to get a picture of this. He's pretty good, right? Chase Utley.
Well, back in 06, Peacock was a draft and follow, which means that the Nationals drafted him and then followed him to the next year before the draft and signed him. You can't do that anymore. It ended in 2007. Now draft picks have to be signed by August 15th.
Well, he's a guy the Phillies should have a little more luck against than some of these other guys they've been facing, because he's a hard thrower. There's that breaking ball, pretty good when he got it over. So he's thrown fastball, curveball, changeup now.
Another breaking ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Utley. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Cardinals certainly do have bullpen troubles. They're still in the top of the 9th. The Mets have tied it up at 6. It's a 4-run 9th inning, and their closer Jason Mott and their old closer Fernando Salas both have pitched in that inning.
Yeah, and they had the bases loaded with 1 out. Now it's bases loaded with 2 outs. That is such a huge game for the Cardinals and the Braves tonight. Because after this, 6 games left. Is it going to be a 1-game lead or a 2-game lead for Atlanta? Well, stay tuned.
Chase lines it to left, so Mike Morse has taken care of all 3 batters here in the bottom of the first. So Mom and Dad are happy about it. The Phillies, hopefully they can square some up against Brad Peacock. We've completed 1. We go to the 2nd. Nationals nothing, Phillies nothing. iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at-bat to 31826 or visit Phillies.com for details. The at-bat app will carry over to the postseason, so although the games will be limited compared to now, you can still follow if there's two games going on at the same time. What a year this guy's having. Oswalt throws him a breaking ball in 0-1. People wonder about comeback player of the year. Somebody brought up Mike Morse's name, and then I can't remember who it was said, well, where did he come back from? This is basically a breakout year for him. Fly ball to shallow right. John Bowker's there.
Think about him too. At one time he was a shortstop in the Seattle organization.
Yep. He didn't play a lot of games in the majors at shortstop. He's played a lot more obviously in the outfield, but yeah. An update from St. Louis. Oh boy, how about this? Bottom of the ninth, the Mets lead at 8-6. Ruben Tejada, who came up with the bases loaded earlier in the game while we were watching that ball game, Wheels, and he didn't come through. Well, it looks like he came through here.
They had an appeal in that game today too early on. Willie Harris hit a ball with a man on. It was 2-0 Reds, and the umpires called it foul. And boy, it looked like so close. And they did the replay on it, went in, checked on it, came back out, said, yep, foul. No homer. So they were that close at that point to tying the game early with the Mets. And the replay, that's when you thought, oh boy, Cardinals are really on a run, because if there had been no replay, it would have been 2-2.
0-2 the count to Knicks with one out here in the top of the second. Got him. Breaking ball, swung on it, missed. That is a nasty curve. First strikeout for Oswalt. And it'll bring Danny Espinosa to the plate. And I hate to say it, Espinosa has been the best hitter for the Nationals this year against the Phillies. I mean, bar none. It hasn't been Ryan Zimmerman. It hasn't been Jason Worth. It hasn't been Mike Morse. It's been Danny Espinosa.
Hitting .238 overall, but really good against the Phillies with 7 of his 21 homers. 1/3 of them. And he's hit them right-handed. He's hit them left-handed, and none of them have been cheap.
Pretty good spot with those first 2 pitches from Oswalt, who's got pretty good life on his fastball.
He's throwing really well again tonight, just like he was Saturday.
Here comes the 0-2. Got him. High heat. That one at 93. Back-to-back strikeouts for Oswalt. And another 1-2-3 inning. This time here in the second. 6 up, 6 down for Roy Oswalt. And he's got some pop on that heater. Once again, he gets Espinosa. That's something the Phillies haven't done much of in this series. Delivered right to your smartphone. Be the first to know the latest on all of your Philly teams right from the palm of your hand. Download the free CSN Sports app today. Last of the second. Not much happening for either team. There have been 9 batters in the ballgame, and all 9 have been retired. Brad Peacock will face Raul Ibanez, Ross Claude, Carlos Ruiz, 4, 5, and 6 for the Phillies. Ibanez with 20 home runs yet again, and 81 runs batted in.
And a solid year in the outfield too. You know, for a guy who really isn't known for as a great defensive player, he has done a very good job out there.
And to consider the fact that he's 39 years old.
Yeah, and coming off all kinds of physical problems.
Just missed that one. It's a fly ball to right center field. Rick Ankiel is in the gap. So 4 fly ball outs so far for the Phillies. And with 1 away, Ross Claude is getting a chance to get some more ABs. He'll dig in for the Phils. Claude at 250 this year on this homestand. He's had 15 at bats. He's 4 for 15.
Trying to get a few guys some at bats tonight. Get Claude some, get Bowker some. Haven't seen a right-hander in this series until tonight.
Everybody is healing properly, from Ryan Howard to Hunter Pence. There's nothing wrong with Placido Polanco. He's just getting the night off. The ball's hit hard but foul, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. In fact, Hunter Pence said, "I feel good. I never really thought I needed an MRI. Hopefully, I'm able to pinch hit. I am able to swing without any problems." And you see he's going over his swing right there.
There he is. Yeah, he needs a play. Maybe tomorrow night in New York.
Load a little out in front, and a fly ball to shallow left center field. Desmond, the shortstop, makes the catch.
Come out throwing 3 pitches, and they're quality too. To this point, you know, his fastball looks like he's got some life on it. Decent location. Throwing his breaking ball, and also uses changeup effectively.
That is one crowded dugout for the Phillies.
At this time of the year, there's a lot of extra people around.
Carlos Ruiz hitting .278 with 6 home runs, 36 runs batted in. He's gone with the high socks. Ryan Zimmerman makes a diving stop and then flips it right over the head of Nix. And Ruiz will get to second. 11th error of the year for Zimmerman. Will score a base hit, I'm sure, and then an error. And Zimmerman, he went down on that wrist pretty hard.
Yeah, he's a little shaken up down there, too. He's had trouble throwing when he has to throw overhand. And he's gotten better at it, evidently. But this long throw, as the wrist rolled on him a little bit, you see when he came up, he airmails the throw to first base. But it looked like on the glove hand, the wrist flipped under a little bit. And they're going to check on him. He's a tough guy, though.
Well, they've scored a hit
and an error.
And an error.
Yeah.
That'll bring John Bowker to the plate. Bowker is getting a chance to make his first start in a Phillies uniform, get some ABs.
And not the way Chooch has those pants hitched up tonight. Looks like Pence.
Yeah, he looks a little old school.
Yeah. There you go, right there. Look at that look. That changed the luck a little bit.
Opposite way. If it's fair, the Phillies will have the lead. It's a foul ball. It's tough to keep those fair down that line when you're a left-handed hitter.
Yeah, because they're going to slice. Had an off-speed pitch here, maybe a changeup or that curve ball, something slow.
Phillies are 12-11 here in the month of September. They've averaged under 4 runs per game. And they're hoping to finish strong. They really, I mean, Charlie Manuel's talked about getting over 100 wins, you know, setting the franchise record for victories. More than anything, he's just talked about playing the game the right way for the last week of the season. The final 7 games. And another fly ball. This one to shallow right. Espinosa is out. And he makes the catch. So the Phillies get a break on the base hit by Ruiz and the error by Ryan Zimmerman. But they leave one in scoring position. We've completed 2 here in South Philadelphia between the Nationals and the Phils. Be a question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. And please, we'll submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, on May 14, 2005, in the first trade ever between the Phillies and the Nats, the Phils swapped Marlon Byrd for what player?
Ground ball to second.
That may have been my hint. The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning.
I have to write it down before I forget.
Rick Ankiel swings at the first pitch and sends it into left center field. That's well hit. And it's off the base of the wall. Victorino bare hands, but Ankiel will pull into second.
Ankiel was hitting balls. I don't know what got into him in batting practice, but just happened to watch him. He hit one ball on the 3rd deck here. He hit one deep into the 2nd deck. First pitch from Roy Oswalt, it's a fastball down the middle. He takes it the other way off the base of the Southwest Airlines side.
Some of the papers have been talking about Ankiel being back next year, but as a 4th or 5th outfielder for the Nationals. I guess it's up to him as to whether he thinks he can play as an everyday player somewhere else. Jesus Flores, the batter. Hitless in his last dozen at bats. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, that is a whopper of a loss for the St. Louis Cardinals. They were up 6-1 at one point.
Yep. Late.
6-2 going into the 9th. They lose it 8-6. So the Braves lead over the Cardinals in the wild card is at 2.
So that would be 25 blown saves. Wouldn't it 24 when they were in here?
Yeah, but they blew that one here.
Right, so 26. Yeah. So their Achilles heel got them tonight. The thing that's prevented them really from being in the postseason already. Still could get there, but everything's tasting a lot better for the Braves tonight in Washington. You talk about a reprieve.
So 6 games left for both teams, and it's a 2-game lead.
Yeah, a 6-game lead with 6 games with 1 or 6 with 2. That's big.
2-2 the count to Flores. He whacks it foul. It remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the American League, well, the Rays are shutting out the Yankees 3-0 in the top of the second. The Red Sox are feeling the heat, and they're off tonight. I don't know if that's good or bad.
They're probably in New York.
The Angels, who are tied with the Rays for second in the wild card, lead the Blue Jays 1-0.
Could see a lot of the Red Sox this weekend. They're going to stay in the same hotel as the Phillies in New York. I think the Yankees and the Mets are playing the same time. Huh?
Doesn't happen often. 2.5 over the Angels and the Rays. If you're wondering why LA is first, you go alphabetical, Wheels.
Is that what it is? Thanks. I was wondering.
Line drive, foul.
This guy is not just trying to get him over, I don't think. Especially now with 2 strikes, he's on his own. But the pitcher's on deck. And normally if the 7-hole hitter doubles, the 8-hole hitter does not just try to get him over, give himself up. He's trying to do something, make something happen. Now if you're going to hit for the pitcher, that's different.
Ground ball toward third, another foul ball. Well, he's spoiling one pitch after another in this at bat. This will be the 9th pitch of this AB to Jesus Flores.
Yeah, to the number 8-hole hitter. That's a guy that's really working him hard. Kind of hot tonight, muggy. Feels more like the summer than late September.
Another foul ball. That's the 10th pitch of the at bat.
Flores a lot of credit. And they've tried everything with him. They're trying change-ups, breaking balls, fastballs.
Well, the good news for Oswalt is that he didn't throw a lot of pitches in the first 2 innings.
What's that thing he threw that night that
It's like a knuckle curve.
Can 2 on the 15th pitch and finally got him? Maybe roll that out.
Here comes the 11th pitch of this AB, and it's a slow curve ball hit foul.
He got him way out in front of that, and he still put it into play.
He is kooky enough that he'll throw a knuckleball or something right here.
He just, you can tell he's really frustrated.
Yeah.
Might be one of those throw it down the middle and take your chances. Maybe he'll hit it at somebody.
Got him. Blew it right on by him. I think Flores was thinking there was something soft coming, and he got a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. It's the 3rd strikeout for Oswalt.
He's in a good spot, too. He turned around and he asked the home plate umpire, Cooper, is it a strike? It's close.
Well, now with 1 out and a runner in at second, here comes Brad Peacock, and Mom's going to try to get a shot.
He's 0 for 2 so far with 2 punch-outs.
And he grounds it to short. That'll get Ankiel to third. 2 away for the top of the order.
Well, you don't know if they'd have pitched him the same way, but if they had gotten the runner over to third, the Phillies would have played the infield back, and he'd have knocked in a run there.
The 2011 National League East champions locker room caps and T-shirts are now available. Stop by the Majestic Clubhouse store at Citizens Bank Park. Open every day from 10 a.m. until 6 or call 877-GO-PHILS. He and Desmond fly to right his first time up.
was taken all the way and takes way outside. I think he got something in his eye.
Yeah, I think he was giving up that pitch.
All of his problems early on as a leadoff hitter. He's hit close to 300 since Davey Johnson put him back in the leadoff spot. It's been about a month. That's off the end of the bat. Utley backpedaling. Here comes Bowker, and they run into each other, and the ball is loose. A run scores. It's 1-0 Washington. You're going to have to score that a double, I would think.
Yeah, you have to. Chase gets turned around right there, going the wrong way, and then here comes Bowker, and thankfully he got out of the way and didn't get his head snapped back. Really didn't need that at that point. You want to make the play, but you don't want anybody to get hurt on that play. And he saw him coming in time. But obviously a ball that should have been caught, but will be scored a double and an RBI.
And Bernardino takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
That's the kind of stuff that that's been going on around here since they clinched.
Looked like at the last few moments Bowker was going to be there and he was calling for it. At that point, though, Chase was in no position to peel away.
You got guys that haven't played together out there. You know, he'd be much more in tune to what Pence was doing after this period of time that they've been out there together.
Right side pass glowed into right field. Here comes Desmond. He can run well, so he's going to score. An RBI single for Bernardino. 2-0 Washington. Well, Charlie Manuel has watched these Nationals take the lead in the season series over the Phils. As odd as that sounds.
Take the lead in all these games too. Phillies have had the lead 1 time in these 4 games. 3-2 last night. And to their credit, you know, they're taking advantage of that mistake out there. It's not an error on the board, but it's an error. You know, as far as the play goes.
Ryan Zimmerman grounded out his first time up. Bernardino, good sized lead. He goes. He was going from the get go. Ruiz's throw is high. A stolen base for Bernardino. That's his 17th of the year. And he got a heck of a jump. No real chance for Ruiz, who's done a nice job this year throwing to the bases.
Yeah, as you said, he got a great jump. Takes 1 peek back and then steals it easily. Throw to the shortstop side, so no chance for the tag.
Is Bernardino in scoring position with 2 away. Fly ball, shallow right. Bowker's there. So the Nationals get a couple runs on 3 hits. They leave 1 in scoring position. Oswalt had to use a few more pitches than he wanted to. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's 2-0 Nationals. Zoom Zoom by Xfinity, only from Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. By Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Honda, see your Honda dealer and discover the great values now being offered. Now the Phillies will play from behind here in the bottom of the third. They trail at 2-0. And Pete Orr will lead it off for the Phils against right-hander Brad Peacock. Orr 1 for his last 13, overall hitting .226. And he takes a fastball for a strike. It's 0-1. Good luck at McDonald's. Phillies home run jackpot contestant is not Elvis. It's Donald Johnson of Elkins Park, Pennsylvania. If the Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, then Donald will win $100. Maybe he'll get a chance to sit and watch a game with it.
See the
with
king.
The Phillies Elvis.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
The guy next to him saying, all right, all right.
Who's he? Did he sing or something?
Photos.
Now that guy knew Elvis.
Strikeout for Pete Orr. First one for Peacock. Well, that took some effort, Reels, to put that outfit together.
That's quite a cape. Oh, he got the total Elvis look.
He sure does.
At the jumpsuit. What an act that man was. Oh,
You mean that guy down in the crowd?
No, the real one.
Oh.
He was so good.
Oswalt looking for career hit number 100. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. This has been somewhat of a remarkable year for Peacock, considering that he was 19-35 prior to this season. He went on to win 15 games, an earned run average combined of 2.39, the Nationals minor league pitcher of the year. And he gets a second strikeout. Folks from the Nationals credit Randy Tomlin, one of his pitching coaches, for helping him develop quickly by tinkering with his changeup and his motion. And they say that he's much more deceptive now, that he kind of rocks back a little bit. It's tough to pick up the ball, and then it jumps right at you. And you hear that a lot from pitchers.
Well, as you said, early on, he's shown the ability to throw 3 pitches, major league pitches for strikes. And as a right-hander who throws hard, he has to have off-speed stuff. And he has 2. He has a changeup and a curveball, because left-handed hitters, they don't care how hard you throw. There's that delivery that Tom's talking about. They say he's a little deceptive. The hitters would be able to tell you that.
Rollins sends it in the air to straightaway center. And Ankiel is out there. So 1-2-3, third inning for Peacock. So Elvis did not provide the luck the Phillies were looking for. We go to the 4th. It's 2-0 Washington. Trust WB Mason for the brands you want at prices you'll love, like Avery 3-ring binders with easy open, gap-free rings. Who but WB Mason? Oh, we go to the top of the 4th. This is usually where I say Gary Matthews joins us up here in the booth, but Sarge is on radio tonight.
Okay, I just heard him yelling across to you.
He was. I thought maybe he was yelling at the umpires.
No, that's Larry's job.
But Larry is off tonight. We hope Larry's feeling better. He had some dental work done. Sarge looks like he's enjoying a meal while JJ's doing the play-by-play.
Looks like he has enough for 2 meals over there. Look at him.
He's on the radio right now with Jim Jackson, and he's having dinner.
Oh, man.
Swing and a miss. It's 2-1.
Man, leave me alone over here, will you? Look at him. Oop. Get the napkin.
He's smiling.
Look at these guys are talking about me. Oh, he just chipped in with something there.
He did. That's funny. It's 2-2 to Mike Moores here at the top of the 4th.
Good. He helped out a little bit there, in between bites.
But we do hope LA is feeling better. He's going to come in tomorrow with the brightest smile.
Yeah. Or he's going to be looking like a chip.
Well, or that. There's Utley back toward the middle. Well, Lance Berkman today. This was announced prior to the Cardinals-Mets game. Signed a 1-year contract extension with the Cardinals that's reportedly worth $12 million. Now, the Cardinals did this for 2 reasons. First of all, he's having a great year, and they think that he can have another one next season. But they don't know if they're going to re-sign Albert Pujols.
Right.
So the stories that came out of St. Louis kind of said that if the Cardinals don't sign Pujols, they may even extend that longer.
Well,
and it depends on how Berkman feels.
That's a nice signing for them, really. 1 year, you throw these numbers around the way things are nowadays, but that's a good signing. 1 year for $12 million for that kind of player. It is.
On the hands, a little pop up over to third. Well, and I say it's a good signing, and it's it's insurance for Pujols, because if they keep Pujols, then Berkman will play the outfield again. If they don't re-sign Pujols, then Berkman will play first base.
And Berkman showed during the offseason that he has dedicated himself to getting in better shape. He showed up this year ready to go for the Cardinals and had a tremendous. He carried them early in the year when Pujols was not Albert Pujols. Maybe he was distracted by all that contract stuff. Who knows? Pujols picked it up later and then put his normal year together.
Espinosa swings at the first pitch, hits it toward left center. Victorino got a great jump. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Roy Oswalt. Nice bounce back inning after allowing 2 runs in the 3rd. We head to the bottom of the 4th, and the Phils looking to get something rolling. Well, earlier today, Shane Victorino and folks from Major League Baseball, Shane's family, his wife Melissa, his mom and dad, They were out in the Nicetown section of Philadelphia where the Shane Victorino Nicetown Boys and Girls Club was unveiled. And what a ceremony. There's Shane honored before the ball game tonight, his wife Melissa. Shane and Melissa, through the Shane Victorino Foundation, pledged $900,000 to refurbish the Nicetown Boys and Girls Club. And folks, this is a building that opened in 1906. It was one of the original boys and girls clubs in the country, and it was in dire need of help. And that money and the hard work from the great construction workers and all the sponsors, and the hard work of Shane and Melissa and the Victorino Foundation made the dream of reopening that facility possible. And being out there today, I'll tell you what, if you weren't impressed with this young man, you would be if you were out there today. And take a look at some of the stories that are, out there right now about Shane and the Boys and Girls Club, because it's really admirable what he's been able to accomplish. So congratulations to Shane, and the ceremony today was outstanding. And he lifts the 2-0 pitch into center field, and Ankiel makes the catch. That facility is located right across the street from Simon Gratz High School, and right up the street from where Connie Mack Stadium stood. I drove by it today. It's now a church, as Wheels knows.
Yeah, 21st and Lehigh, and I spent a lot of time there as a kid. And it was a great place to go watch a baseball game, and that big church is on the corner, and there you go. That's pretty nice there in Nicetown.
Oh, and Wheels, they're finishing the playground in the back, and I'll tell you, the basketball court was refurbished. There's a playroom. There's a technology center. And, there are a handful of major leaguers that have a Boys and Girls Club named in their honor. Willie Mays is one. Jackie Robinson is one. And for Shane and Melissa to be able to accomplish what they have been able to accomplish over the last couple of years after making that pledge, boy, you hope that others take notice to it, because it shows what you can do with your celebrity. And Shane broke down a couple of times during his speech today. It was just very well done, the whole event.
Well, he's that kind of person trying to help somebody else out.
Another fly ball. This one to shallow left off the bat of Utley. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Jeep Brand. We don't just make SUVs, we make history. By AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. And by Thomas Jefferson University Hospitals. Call 1-800-JEFF-NOW. Phillies have managed one hit today.
By the way, Sarge, saw Sarge between innings. He said he appreciated if he could dine in private. Didn't quite say it that way. I'm paraphrasing.
Whatever he was having, it looked like he was enjoying it.
He still was.
Yeah.
I think he was working on the chicken tetrazzini. You can't go wrong with chicken.
That's what he says. Ibanez lines one to deep right field. Bernardino going back, reaches up, makes the catch, and it's another fly ball out. Phillies go down in order here in the fourth. 7 in a row retired by Brad Peacock. There's Melissa and Shane with a little cutting of the ribbon before they head into the boys club. takes the first pitch from Roy Oswalt right over the glove of Ross Gload. He's heading to second. The throw by Bowker off the glove of Rollins. And that'll be the second double of the night, I think, for Ankiel. And that's what Jay Dunn just said. It is a 2-base hit.
Second leadoff double for him. Last time they got him in on that misplayed ball in right field. Here it is. It's hit hard, but right under the glove of Gload. And, you know, that's another play that should be made but will not be scored an error.
So Ankiel's 2 for 2. And it's kind of the same scenario we had in the third. The 8-hole hitter's up with nobody out and a runner at second. And he takes strike one.
And what was it, 11 pitch at bat with
Yeah.
with Flores the last time up.
Line drive caught by Gload. 1 out.
That ball caught him. That was hit right on the nose. Wow. Watch how hard this is hit. See the reaction time? Just here it comes. Put my glove up. Get my face out of the way. That's all you can do on that. That looked really fast in slow motion.
Peacock again. He grounded it short his last time up, and he grounds one back toward the middle. Ankiel doesn't advance this time. 2 outs. Now, catch all the action of the 2011 Major League Baseball postseason on Fox and TBS. The excitement begins September 30th with the Division Series on TBS. Legends are born in October. Wheels, make sure you check your local listings for times and networks.
We'll be here, won't we?
We will.
Yeah. Do a little radio.
Yeah, and the American League Division Series may be delayed depending on how the wild card finishes up. Because if it's a 3-way tie, which it could be, just as it could be a tie in the National League, but it doesn't look like there'll be a 3-way tie in the National League, but there's a chance it could be a 3-way tie in the American League.
Yep.
They'll have to decide that first.
Giants are still hanging around in the wild card, but it'd be tough for them because they got to go past 2 teams.
0-1 the count to Ian Desmond. Fly ball down the right field line. Bowker, long run, runs out of room. The way the scenario works in the American League, if Tampa, the Red Sox, and LA finish in a tie, as we look at Bowker going in toward the crowd, he's able to brace himself. If they finish in a tie, the Rays will have the decision on what they want to do. Ground ball to shortstop. Rollins stays down on it. And it's a 7-pitch inning for Roy Oswalt. He did allow a leadoff double, but he worked right around that leadoff double. We played 4.5 here at Citizens Bank Park. On Comcast Sportsnet Sunday at 6:30, longtime Philadelphia sports radio host Howard Eskin dukes it out with his very own son, radio DJ Spike, to debate the hottest topics in sports. You, the fans, decide who wins by voting on csnphilly.com. Don't miss Full Contact live Sunday night at 6:30, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Home half of the fifth, it's 2-0 Washington. Phillies have lost the first 3 of this series. They've lost 5 in a row overall. And Brad Peacock, who's allowed only 1 hit, it was an infield single on a ball hit by Carlos Ruiz, starts the 5th with a strike.
He hit a couple balls hard, but for the most part, he's commanded the lineup kind of the way it's been going lately.
Ten fly outs.
Yeah,
10 fly ball outs.
He doesn't have anything really down in the strike zone that's going to make you. See, there's another pitch up. His fastball is kind of an upshoot type of fastball, change up breaking ball. You know, you could smother those, but they're also pitches that, you know, a lot of times hitters are going to hit them in the air.
Well, it's good for the ballpark they play in.
Yeah, he doesn't sink the ball. Trying to get it down here.
And he does to a certain extent. Espinosa will throw to Peacock covering. And that's 4-1 on the putout. Powerade Ion 4. Focus, hustle, hydrate, and believe.
Ruiz hit a ground ball his last time up, and that was a ball that was a tough play for Zimmerman. Then he threw it away for hitting an error.
Carlos asked for that ball to be looked at by the home plate umpire, Eric Cooper. Sometimes hitters will do that if they think there's some extra movement on it, and if there's a scuff that's causing an extra movement.
Yeah, they might see a smudge or something they don't like. It's a good curveball. It's a really good curveball that he gets over.
Eric Cooper behind the plate. Mark Carlson at first. Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, at second. Tim Timmons around to third. And a line drive to left. Morse, he misplayed it, but he was able to recover to make the catch. I shouldn't say misplayed it, he misread it.
He broke in a little bit. And now, he's a pretty athletic guy and also very tall, so he's able to go back and make the play, no problem. Former shortstop, they can play anywhere.
Off speed pitch to Bowker, 0-1.
Guy's only thrown 48 pitches. He threw 94 in 5 innings in his last start out.
That over the course of his professional career down in the minors has always been an issue for him, is that he's, you know, he has walk batters on a consistent basis. This year was a little different, but it reared its head in his last outing. Bowker hits it off the end of the bat. He hooks it over to first, and it's another 1-2-3 fifth inning for Peacock. He throws just 10 pitches to get through the home fifth. We move on to the sixth there in Philly, and it's 2-0 Washington. every member of the 2011 National League East champions. They've been dominant on the mound and have been slamming at the plate when necessary. For a club record 5th straight season, the Phillies remain the team to beat in the East, and they did it in 150 games this year, faster than any team in franchise history. Cork popping never gets old, and it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way. That was the last time the Phillies won a ball game. That was the clincher as Pete Orr comes sliding in to take care of Roger Bernardino to begin the 6th. It's odd to say that the Phillies haven't won since Saturday night, and here we are on Thursday.
And it's all home games, too. As good as they've been here in this ballpark this year, but for a variety of reasons, they just haven't been able to win. Pete Orr was playing Bernardino way up, so when he bunted that ball, popped that ball up in the air, he was able to go over and get it.
One gone for Ryan Zimmerman. It's 2-0 Washington. Zimmerman takes a strike. It's 0-1. Well, and you're right. They have been great here at home, and that's been the case under Charlie Manuel. This year, they've won 52 games here at Citizens Bank Park.
You look down, they only have 28 losses right now, and that's with this 5-game losing streak. It's remarkable.
Charlie said that sometimes he'll just sit there and look around the ballpark, and he said it reminds him of the way Jacobs Field was at the beginning. He said, but it's different. He said the fans' reactions here are different. You know, there's an energy that he said you can't compare anywhere else. And I think we feel the same way about that.
Yeah, he and I had a long talk about that on his pregame radio show tonight, and I asked him about East Coast baseball too. Is it different? And, oh yeah, he said this is very different. He said, you know, Cleveland had its thing there. He says, but there's something about playing on the East Coast in a traditional baseball city like this one that just the fans, he said, they really know the game. They're really into the game. They feel like they're a part of the game. And he said, if you don't want to play here, I don't know where you want to play.
Well, take a look at our Mazda leaders, and the Phillies are tied with the Brewers for most wins in the National League with 52, or Major League Baseball, I should say, with 52. As Morse chops one toward third. Oh, nice pick by Orr behind the bag, and Glode stays on the bag. A 5-3 putout. That's a 6-pitch 6th inning for Roy Oswalt. He has to be thinking, what else do I have to do? Let's get some runs. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The Phillies playing a little defense here in the top of the 6th. Pete Orr picks it, throws out Mike Morse. By WB Mason. Who bought WB Mason for amazingly low office product prices? And by Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. Oh, this will be the 81st sellout of the year at Citizens Bank Park. That's only part of the story. The sellout streak, which is up over 200 right now, will carry over into the postseason. Pete Orr leads it off, and another fly ball. There's been one ground ball out in tonight's game against Brad Peacock, and he's only thrown 51 pitches. Can't imagine he's been in this spot often where he's fallen behind 2-0.
Well, yeah, they haven't been taking a whole lot on him, and he did get behind a few hitters earlier, but we're talking about how he came back with off-speed pitches and, you know, pitched backwards a little bit, which was impressive for a young pitcher. Kind of aimed that one right there, and he threw that 87. Maybe cut it.
3-0 to Oswald, and ball 4. So the first 3-ball count of the night leads to the first walk of the night for Brad Peacock. A reminder that the Phillies are taking applications and 2-minute DVDs for next year's Ball Girls. That's right, represent the organization in the community and on the field for the 2012 season. Submit your DVD to the Phillies, Citizens Bank Park, 1 Citizens Bank Way, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19148. Attention Ball Girl applicant. Deadline for submissions is October 1st, which is next Saturday. Phillies gave out rally towels before tonight's ball game in preparation for the scene that will be here next Saturday.
Yeah, be a little different. Jimmy Rollins right now is hitting a lot of balls in the air. He's frustrated because he threw his bat his first time up. What he needs to do is just hit a couple line drives, and well, he hit the ball 4 times right on the nose in that clincher the other night, and since then just a lot of fly ball outs. And that's usually just a timing issue. Now you see kind of a mini towel situation. Well, there goes some more.
Yep.
That's what it'll look like. Maybe that'll get him thinking postseason.
Think back to 2007 when the Phillies were making their run against the Mets. That was, you know, this scene with the towels flying around. That's the scene that everybody around baseball was saying, what the heck is going on? Rollins stays alive as he fouls it off to the right.
He's seeing a lot of off-speed pitches out front a little bit, and that's another reason why the ball's in the air so much.
Inside and low, 2-2. All right, here you go. The sellout streak, which includes the postseason, officially after tonight at 217. The Phillies sold 3,680,718 tickets here in the regular season.
Oh, what a tribute to the fans in this area. You see that number.
The 2-2 to Rollins. Outside, ball 3. Second straight 3-ball count.
This is normally a running situation, but I don't know that it would be with a pitcher at first base.
He looked over at San Palazzo.
Yeah, he wants to make sure, you know, because, you know, Oswald, of course, as a pitcher, knows that this is one where he's thinking, well, the guy's probably going to run on me here at first on the count.
Not being held on. Doesn't go. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks.
Now that was a bear down, get after him at bat by Jimmy Rollins. That was good to see. maybe make this guy work a little bit because it's been way too easy.
Meeting at the mound that will momentarily include Steve McCaddy, the Nationals pitching coach. There is bullpen action. Tom Gorzelati's up and throwing in the pen for the Nationals.
Yeah, it's a young pitcher that they like. They're trying to get some things out of him. There's Gorzelati, and he starts to struggle. They got him out after 5 innings last time. Got him a win.
And last night they got John Lannon out after 5 innings. Eric Cooper's going out to break up the conversation. Been a monumental day for Shane Victorino, and maybe Davey Johnson can watch Victorino put a charge into this ballpark and into this offense. His average has dropped 34 points over the last month.
Well, that is a nice little preview of what's going to go on here pretty soon.
One out, first and second here in the bottom of the 6th. Strike at the knees. It's 0-1.
Have to ask Sam Perlazzo and Juan Samuel if it turned into a lynch storm down there. They say that's what happens. You start waving those rally towels around, all of a sudden they start getting like a little snowstorm.
Third ball drops in for strike 2. 73 miles an hour after a 91 mile an hour fastball.
Not bad. Victorino, another one of the guys who really been scuffling offensively that they're trying to get going before postseason. Whether he did that on purpose or not, but that's not a bad idea for a veteran pitcher, let alone a young pitcher. Now he throws that curveball just enough and gets it over. You can see guys are going to be late on fastballs. Victorino is a really good fastball hitter. Late on that one.
See the runners. Rollins at first. Oswalt at second. And he's down 2.
A little nervous time there for mom and dad. Brad Peacock's parents.
Utley waits on deck.
And once again, you're not going to run here. Combination of pitcher, second base, and a left-handed hitter. I mean, it's just be too easy for a strikeout double play here. And you don't want Oswalt sliding into bags if you can avoid it. There he goes. Every time you set one up like that, right?
3-2 the count to Victorino. The runners don't go, and the pitch hit in the air to center. Playable for Ankiel. Oswalt tags at second. And he draws the throw, and he'll stop there. Oh, comes Davey Johnson. How about this?
He's going to give this kid every chance to win the game.
Yep. So he's going to go to the lefty Tom Gorzelati. 69 pitches for Brad Peacock. And he has 2 on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. And it'll be a pitching change. Well, he picked up his first major league win in his last outing. He went 5 innings, and tonight he goes 5 2/3. This is an AT&T call to the bullpen here at Citizens Bank Park. Tom Gorzolani's coming on because the left-hander Chase Utley is due up. Phillies have the tying runs aboard here at the bottom of the 6th. Brad Peacock, who was just lifted with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th and 2 runners on. Davey Johnson decided to bring in the lefty, the seasoned left-hander Tom Gorzolani, to face Chase Utley. The kid did a nice job tonight. He allowed just a hit, walked 2, struck out a couple. And now it's Gorzolani, who's 4-6 with a 4.09 ERA, who will face Chase Utley. Watching the conversation between Peacock and Steve McCatty, I think he wanted to finish the inning.
Oh yeah, sure he did. And you know that what they're doing here is give him every chance to, win the game. He can't lose the game now, no matter what Chase Utley does here, because he can only give up 2 runs, and that would tie it. 3rd run would be Gorzolani. So, this is a good move on their part, probably also for the kid's psyche.
Utley takes away 1 ball, no strikes.
And if he did in fact want to finish the inning, as you say, they got to like that about him.
Saw the base runners, Oswald at second, Rollins at first. Phillies down 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. Utley rips it foul right past the shoulders of Sam Perlazzo. There's Ryan Howard, who had a cortisone shot a couple days ago. They're hoping to have him back this weekend against the Mets. The same for the guy behind him, Hunter Pence. The lineup is much different, with Ryan Howard hitting 4th behind Chase Utley and Hunter Pence batting 5th. It just is.
Got that right. Well, the fans are trying to do their part. They have been really great in this inning with these rally towels.
Chase has asked for time a couple of different moments in this at bat. Flores finally decided, I'm going to go out and talk to Gorzelati. They were not connecting on what either wanted to throw. They faced each other before. Tom Gorzelati against Chase Utley. Two and one the count. 3-1. Davey Johnson knows that even if Gorzelati loses Utley, he still has another lefty in the on-deck circle in Raul Ibanez.
Yeah, that's why he brought him in at this point with the two left-handed hitters coming up. And, maybe he thought his young pitcher was starting to labor a little bit and struggle because he had walked two and went 3-2 on Victorino.
Utley takes ball 4 and the bases are loaded. 3 walks in the inning, 2 by Peacock, 1 by Gorzelati.
3 straight left-handed hitters when you consider Globe behind Ibanez, so nobody up in their bullpen.
Grand slams for Ibanez.
Yeah, including a recent one.
Yep.
The
Which
last
was electrifying.
Right, to put away the last game they won.
First pitch to him. A breaking ball that sweeps in for strike 1. Strike 2.
Well, you could see Mayberry hit for Glow too, with no right-hander up in the bullpen. Whoop. There he is.
Let's hope we get there.
Yep.
0-2 with 2 outs. And a fly ball left center field. And Keel is over, and the Phillies leave the bases loaded. So they got 3 walks here in the 6th, 2 by Brad Peacock, 1 by Tom Gorzelati. We're through 6 here in Philadelphia. Phil's offense still down 2.
Preview of postseason night with those rally towels coming out. Verizon Wireless game summary. The Phillies just 1 hit in this game. They do have some walks. 36 runs scored over the last 15 games in that average. So it's even if you get great pitches, it's tough to win a whole lot of games when you do that. And they've been managed to win a lot of games this year without a whole lot of offense.
Well, and they are getting great pitching again tonight. Oswalt's allowed just 4 hits and 2 runs. The 2 runs came in the 3rd, and let's face it, he probably should have been out of that inning too.
Right, he shouldn't have given up anything tonight.
So it's 1 ball, 1 strike to Lance Nix. Nix is 0 for 2. How about that note about the amount of runs the Phillies have scored recently, averaging just under, or I should say under, or just over 2 runs per game.
Yeah, under 3, over 2. And well, they know they got to pick it up.
May have been a broken bat for Lance Nix. Well, these lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Breaking ball outside, 3-2. Inside, ball 4. First walk of the night for Oswalt. And it comes to start the top of the 7th. Well, tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, before the Phillies take on the New York Mets, we will play our fans' plays of the year, both good and bad. That was good. That wasn't as good. Nope. That was really good. And there's a lot more to come. And again, that's tomorrow prior to the game against the New York Mets. Phillies and the Mets, the first of a 3-game series.
But that guy graded himself, huh?
Yeah. Rightfully so. Espinosa lofts it to right center.
That's a good way to get him out from a first pitch changeup, because he's wailing on fastballs. And Roy got him way out in front with that off-speed pitch.
Yeah, that'll bring Rick Ankiel to the plate. Oh, Wheels, this is the final regular season home game of the year for the Phillies here at Citizens Bank Park. Now, there's playoff games to be had for all the fans here, and even for all the employees who do such a great job. Well, we want to send out special recognition for 2 in particular. DeWitt Hobbs, 91-year-old DeWitt Hobbs, who threw out the first pitch tonight here at Citizens Bank Park.
And did it quite well.
Yes, he did. Who was apparently, there's DeWitt. There he is.
Look at this.
Atta boy.
Nice going, DeWitt.
He's going to retire after tonight's ball game. And we also have to recognize Courtesy Tom. Tom Ryder, who is also retiring officially today. And all of us have ticket requests. All of us leave tickets. We buy tickets. And we have folks that go to the ticket window to get those tickets. And they all go away from that window impressed.
Yeah.
And have for a long time.
Well, in the old days at Veterans Stadium, DeWitt, of course, sat outside the visitors clubhouse for many, many years. He also worked at Connie Mack Stadium.
Yep.
And Tom, now we're able to see where our seat locations are by going on a computer. But in the old days, you had to pick up the phone, find out where people were sitting if you wanted to go see them, or you know, make sure that they were there and all that. And Tom always had the time for that. Yeah, Wheels, same spot basically. They're here. You don't want to know where they are. He was great, and it's a little different now. You know, they kind of keep them off to themselves, and they say, don't bother them anymore. Okay. To 2 the count. Fly ball foul.
Well, the courtesy window is window 29 is where Tom sits. Is not going to be the same.
Nope. Did a great job for so many years and a good friend to so many people around her, as DeWitt Hobbs, who was one of the nicest men, gentlemen. 91, huh?
That's what he said tonight.
Gee.
I know he had told me that before, and I couldn't remember. That could be two. Utley backhands, flips to Rollins. Boy, those two guys are like an easy fitting glove right there. 4-6-3 double play. Oswalt gets through the seventh. Time to stretch here at Citizens Bank Park one more time here in the regular season.
Shortstop, Jimmy Rollins.
Batting second, number 8, center fielder Shane Victorino.
Batting third, number 26, second baseman Chase Utley.
Well, today the Phillies honored the great Dan Baker for 40 years of service here in Philadelphia, not only at the Vet, but also at Citizens Bank Park. And Dan and his daughter Courtney did the starting lineups tonight. There's Kathy and Darren. Kathy, Dan's wife of 37 years. Darren, his son. And, boy, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of sounds and ambiance to the ballpark as a whole, the crowd, the energy. And Dan is certainly a huge part of the sounds of this great ballpark.
There he is. Met his wife Kathy here. Kathy was working in the sales office when Dan started working for the club.
John Mayberry pitch hitting here in the seventh. Let's take a listen to Dan Baker. 40 years, folks, here at Citizens Bank Park.
Phillies catcher Carlos Ruiz.
Dan is also the voice of Lincoln Financial Field, where the Eagles play. Does Drexel basketball.
He Art Wolf was a PA announcer for the first year at Veterans Stadium in 1971. Then Danny came in 1972. And as you say, Tom, he's become a legend in this town.
In fact, we were thinking about it today. We should have had Dan Plesac come down and introduce Dan and describe the honor, because Dan Plesac does, well, he does one of the best Dan Baker impersonations ever.
Good one. It's a real good one, yeah. Well, a long time to be a PA. You know, when I was a kid, Dave Zinkoff did a little bit of it. The Phillies, who became great PA announcer for the 76ers. Everybody knows the Zink from the NBA.
Soft fly ball to right center. Bernardina knocks it down. And Ruiz aboard for the second time with his second hit, and only the second hit of the night for the Phillies.
And they get the tying run of the plate. Then Pete Byram came along and did a tremendous job. And Eddie Ferenz, who was a longtime traveling secretary for the Phillies, was a PA announcer. And then Dan Baker. And nobody's replaced Dan for a long time.
Dan was the voice of Big Five basketball. Here comes Davey Johnson. And that may be it for Tom Gorzelati. They do have a right-hander up and throwing in the bullpen for Washington. So Ben Francisco's been introduced as a pinch hitter for John Bowker. So we've got a pitching change here at Citizens Bank Park. Again, the tying run is coming up for the Phils with a new pitcher for the Nationals. Answer. Wheels, let me refresh your memory one more time, but I think you might know this one. On May 14, 2005, in the first trade ever between the Phils and the Nats, the Phils swapped Marlon Byrd for what player?
Why would I have said 4-3 to you?
Because Endy Chavez grounded out to second more often than anybody else that year.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Endy Chavez.
That is correct. Endy Chavez. That was a trade of two guys who at the time needed a change of scenery. Right back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stuff the Fans. Now, Chavez has got on to play well for the Mets and the Rangers now.
Yeah, he really did become a much better player. But when he was here, big old long bat right down on the end, and all he did was roll him over to second.
Ryan Matthews is the new pitcher for the Nationals. The Fanatic has found a friend. Ben Francisco is the pinch hitter with one out. Ben overall hitting .248, 6 home runs, 34 runs batted in. Ground ball to third. Zimmerman scoops it. There's one. They won't turn two, but that's a fine play. 5-4 on the put out at second. 2 outs.
Great hands by Ryan Zimmerman. It's one of those do or die plays. You know, you certainly can't do anything about the hop here. It's going to get you in between. He knows that. So charge it. Make it as easy a hop as possible, and he does. And as you said, you're not going to get a double play on that. That's still a really good play. A lot of guys will come in, that ball go right up their arm.
Pete Orr is now the hitter with 2 outs. Oswalt's out in the on-deck circle. And Orr hits it in the air softly to left. Here comes Mike Morse. And the Phillies with 2 hits tonight leave one over at first. And the 7th inning comes to a close. So Roy Oswalt will put his bat back, put his helmet back, and head out to the mound. His team trails at 2-0. See your local Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDealer.com. Buy McDonald's. I'm loving it. And buy Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at Southwest.com. John Mayberry stays in the ballgame to play first base for the Phillies, and the new right fielder is Ben Francisco, who pinch hit for John Bowker. And as we go to the 8th, Jesus Flores will lead it off. Only the 81st pitch for Oswalt tonight.
Yeah, no problem. They'll get 8 innings out of him, and then they'll hit for him. So it works out.
Oh, and 2 the count. By the way, they've been giving out some really great items in between innings here on Fan Appreciation Night. They just gave away a manager's baseball set that featured Ryan Sandberg, Charlie Manuel, and Larry Boa. Earlier, they gave away a broadcaster's jersey set. It featured the Crucker, Mitch Williams, L.A., and Sarge.
That's good. Sarge is finished with dinner.
Yep. Flores lifts it to left, not deep, playable for Ibanez.
It looks like, man, what are they talking about now?
He just came in and when did we put him on TV? About 5 innings ago, 4 innings ago?
Been a while.
He comes in, he goes, hey, what's up with you putting me on TV eating my dinner? He must have just finished. That's why he came over.
Right. They put away dessert in there. That's about gone.
Sarge is doing radio tonight for 9 innings because L.A. had a little dental work done today. Hope he's feeling well. Man's a gamer, though. He thought he'd be able to get in here and do a game after having a root canal earlier today.
Unable to do it. Spirit was willing.
Alex Cora is the pitch hitter for the Nationals. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Cora.
Probably can sit at home and eat a lot of ice cream tonight.
Might be sensitive.
Go the other side. He had a root canal. The nerve's gone.
That is true.
Right?
Yeah. Probably sit in that pool that he talks about all the time.
Yeah, he's out there splashing around with a rubber ducky.
Cora tries to check. Did he go? Nope. This is the third base umpire, Tim Timmons.
It's another one of those games we go, oh boy, you know, no runs, but there's a real big positive in this game tonight, and it's Rory Oswalt. His stuff is really good. His fastball's outstanding. He should not have given up anything to this point, and he has solidified that number 4 starter role for postseason.
The 2-2 to Cora. Swing and a miss. He got him with a running fastball.
Yeah, that's my point. That's another example of he has good location on his pitches. They have movement. He's mixed them up well, and his body language is just outstanding. You can tell he's healthy. There he runs that fastball away from Cora, and everything about Roy Oswalt just shows you that he's fine and ready to compete.
Ian Desmond's 1 for 3, doubled home run in the 3rd. In fact, the Nationals scored 2 in the 3rd, and that's been it.
Yeah, and it was really on a fly ball to right field that was, in between Chase Utley and John Bowker that dropped, and it cost them 2 runs with 2 outs. They're going to use Clippard in the 8th and probably Storen in the 9th. I mean, they're serious about this. Are the Nationals trying to win this game? Because that's their 8th inning guy, and Storen would be their closer.
2-2 pitch to Desmond. outside, 3-2. Well, they have their sights set on trying to get to 500. Now it's going to be hard to do that, but they're at 75 and 79 right now, so it is within reach.
Sure.
Desmond late on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, with 2 outs in the 8th inning. 96 pitch. So we're talking about Oswalt is just fine.
And his next start, which will be his last, will most likely be, well, I would think a short one. Maybe a tune-up for the postseason. Charlie Manuel and Rich Doobie have not laid out their plans, but you would think they're still going to go with 4 in the first round if they need to. Chopper back toward the middle. Utley, this will be a tough play. Sets himself, throws off balance, not in time.
Took a big high hop. That little bit extra that hop took cost him a chance to get him at first base, and it was really close anyway. Watch how high this hop goes right here. See how high it is? Now it takes his body another step or even 2 to his right after that hop, and by the time he can get set and throw, more speeds to play, or Desmond beats the play.
Only the 5th hit allowed by Oswalt, and it's the first since the 5th. Boy, last 2 pitches have been awfully close, but Eric Cooper is at a pretty good strike zone tonight. Ruiz is saying something to him.
Oh yeah, Cooper's answering him back, and they, keep the head straight ahead, and it's no problem with that.
Fly ball right center field. This may split the gap. It does, and it's off the top of the wall. Victorino plays it well. Desmond's coming home, and he'll score. It's an RBI double for Bernardina. 3-0 Washington. That ball really carried into the alley.
He's strong. He had a ball in the second deck here the other day, and that ball looked like it was going to be a double off the bat, and it almost went in the seats.
Oswalt just said something to Eric Cooper about those 2 pitches.
Right, because he fell behind 2-0 on those pitches that he thought could have been strikes, and that's a big difference in 0-2 and 2-0. Now you come in with something, it's down, and he likes the ball down, it looks like. This thing hits up high on the wall, doesn't it? Oh, gee, it hit the top of the fence out there. Shane was on it quickly, Victorino on it quickly, got it back in, but no problem to score a run there. So they scored their 3 runs with 2 outs tonight. And that you think about that infield hit in this inning, if it doesn't take that great big high hop on Chase Utley, he's going to throw Desmond out.
And Ruiz is going to come out to talk to Oswalt. Phillies do have bullpen action. It's Brad Lidge who's been throwing for a little bit. I think Carlos just asked Roy Oswalt if he was okay, because he landed kind of awkwardly on that last pitch.
Come on, Roy. One more out.
Oh, boy. Must be in a spot that is not to Eric Cooper's liking. there's ball 4. So Zimmerman's aboard. Charlie Manuel's headed over to the stairs, and that may be it for Oswalt. That's going to be it for Oswalt. So 104 pitches. Well, maybe not. He's running out. He said that managers sometimes have a style when they're going to take a guy out when they're not. I think he just said, give me one more. Managers sometimes walk slowly if they're going to make a move. If they start to run out, they just want to go out and say something to them. Or take their temperature to make sure they're okay. And Oswalt, it looked like he said, give me one more. And that one more will be Mike Morse. Phillies down 3-0 here in the top of the 8th.
Boy, he had such good control, and now all of a sudden he's starting to miss a little bit. Morse does dive a little bit, and they'll push you back a little bit. Him starting to go, and then woo, look out. Went along so well in this inning. 2 outs, nobody on base, and that high chopper up the middle.
Into the Phillies dugout, and it's 3-2. Every time the Phillies retire the opposing team 1-2-3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity HD Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, lightning fast internet, and home phone. The runners will be off on this pitch. It's 3-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Phillies trail at 3-0. There they go, and the pitch hit in the air to right center field. That's pretty well hit. Victorino on the run, and that one is gone. A 3-run opposite field home run for Mike Morse. And the Nationals have opened it up. They lead it 6-0.
Boy, is he strong. Well, gave him one more hitter, and he fell behind him, and that's it. That shows you an example what kind of year that Morse has had, though. Pound a ball like that into the bullpen. Man.
So Charlie Emanuel takes the slow walk out to the mound. That'll be it for Roy Oswalt, who for 7 2/3 was magnificent tonight. But he's allowed the last 4 runners to reach base and score here at the top of the 8th. We've got a pitching change. Brad Lidge is coming in with the Phillies down 6-0. hard blast. Well, let us refresh your memory. It just happened.
Wow. That ball was in on him just a little bit, and talked about Morris all year and the way he has improved and how mule strong he is, and that gave you an example. The way that ball flew out all the way into the back of the bullpen.
28 home runs now, 89 runs batted in for Mike Morris. Brad Lidge is on to face Lance Nix with nobody on and 2 outs here in the 8th. It's 6-0 Washington. And the first pitch slider's in there for strike. Nix tonight has walked. He's also struck out and popped out. 0-2. Brad Lidge, an earned run average of 1.13.
110 pitches, the final count tonight for Roy Oswalt.
How about that slider right there? Side is finally retired, but the Nationals score 4 runs. The big blow, a 3-run opposite field home run by Mike Morris. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. The Phillies down 6-0 here in the final home game of the regular season. For a Coors Light freeze, Kevin. This is our final home game here at Citizens Bank Park. We want to thank all the folks that make everything look so good, from Andy Rabel to Greg Farnese. There's Bernie out in center field. Matt, who's down at the first base dugout. Mike, he's at his perch over the first base side. Of course, Charlie's up here. Charlie's the quietest of the bunch. Dean down there taking shots over on the third base side. They do such a great job to make our telecasts crisp, entertaining on a nightly basis, and that's only part of the story. So many other folks across the street in our control room who do so many things that make this such a great telecast on any given night.
Oh yeah, they do tremendous work behind the scenes. Sit out here a lot of afternoons working on stuff, and they're sitting out here, and I get to hear them talking about the world and issues and everything, and they're quite an eclectic group, and a lot of fun to be around these men and women here. They do just a tremendous job.
Brendan Moss will lead it off against Tyler Clippard. You saw Marrero over at first and Bixler in left. You know, there are a lot of tours that go on here at the ballpark. You know, and it's a great opportunity to see the dugout, to see the bullpens, to see the press box. And, you know, guys like Charlie and Bernie and Bill Egbert and all the guys that are on the cameras, they're part of what folks see when they come in here to the booth and to the press box.
We always make a point of introducing them too, telling people that come into the booth, these are the people that make it all worthwhile for us in here at night. They do a great job.
0-2 the count to Brandon Moss. Inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
known Charlie O'Gara since we used to make commercials for the Phillies back in the 70s, back in at the old studios up on Mermaid Lane.
I thought Charlie was just in his early 40s.
And he was just a child. He was a child prodigy. He and Bill Egbert.
Who was the creative mind behind those commercials?
Denny Lehman. Or Lehman, whatever he calls himself now. I'm never sure.
He was here the other night.
I heard he was here the other night. Yeah, he used to. And the talent was a woman named Candy Smith. He used to do them, dressed up in an old hot pants uniform. And she would be she was our spokesperson back in those days.
Denny, who now works for the Cleveland Indians, was in town. Jerry Clothier was honored with the Richie Ashburn Award.
Well, that was a great recipient, Jerry Clothier. Well deserved.
Moss hits a towering fly ball to shallow left. Bixler, who just came into the ball game, will call off Ian Desmond for the first out. So Clippard has the first out here in the 8th, and here comes Jimmy Rollins. Well, from a telecast standpoint, it's goodbye to Citizens Bank Park. We'll be here during the postseason, of course, but it is pretty neat to just look out here from behind home plate where our perch is and just see all the activity going on around the ballpark. You just can't match it anywhere else.
Yeah, it starts early out here, too.
Well, the folks out in Ashburn Alley, many of whom stand in the same spots every game. Rollins sends it in the air to right field. Pretty well hit, but playable for Bernardina. 2 outs. He's one of those guys right there. He's out in that spot every game. Said he's kind of in charge of everybody. Keeps an eye on everything out there.
Kind of like a mayor of the area. Huh?
Yeah. Victorino's 0 for 3. Top 3 hitters in the lineup for the Phillies have not fared particularly well during this series against the Nationals. Five hits between the 3, and it varies at who the 3 are. As Victorino is retired, he's 0 for 4. It's a 1-2-3 8th inning for Tyler Clippard. So on to the 9th here in Philadelphia. The Phillies been shut out 6-0. Bank Park. The ballpark offers a variety of unique spaces and on-site catering available year-round for many types of functions, both large and small. Take advantage of all the ballpark has to offer: tours, fan and vision usage. Call the special events department at 215-218-5100 or visit Phillies.com/special events. Top of the ninth, Joe Savory on for the Phillies in a 6-0 ball game. Savory will face Danny Espinosa, Rick Ankiel, and Jesus Flores. Those are the 3 starters. No, Wheels, the Phillies have not lost the season series to too many National League teams this year.
2 in a row now.
Yeah, if they lose tonight, they will have lost the season series to the Cardinals and the Nationals.
Yeah, well, they're just, it's not real good right now. But they have clinched a big-time playoff spot, and they're going to go on the road for 6 and get some guys back and hopefully get a little zip and win some games and go into postseason on a good note. What else can you say?
The Phillies are 15-11 during this stretch of 33 games in 31 days. But they were 15-6 at one point.
Yeah. Well, to get swept at home, if in fact that were to happen in a 4-game series, they're the 2 guys who are going to get back. It's something that just doesn't happen to them. They've been such a good home team here for the last few years because of these amazing crowds that give them so much energy.
In the dirt, and it's 1-2 to Danny Espinosa.
And the Washington Nationals trying to do as much as they can to start feeling good about next year. You know, they'll go into next year with Strasburg and Zimmerman right at the top of their rotation. That's not bad.
Jordan Zimmerman.
Jordan Zimmerman.
Yep.
That's not bad now. They shut Zimmerman down, a little while ago. And John Lennon in there. You know, they have to feel very good about their future.
Espinosa stays alive. The count is even 2-2. They've kept him in check tonight. He's 0 for 3. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Tampa Bay all over the Yankees. Now the Yankees have clinched the East, so they had kind of a, I don't want to say a makeshift lineup out there tonight, but not their normal lineup.
This is their hangover game.
Strikeout for Savory.
Pretty good breaking ball there with 2 strikes on him.
Mentioned the story on Savory. It's remarkable. You know, a guy who was a pitcher for the Phillies, and then at some point they decided to make him a hitter again because he had hit some during his time with the Phillies organization. He's a good hitter.
Good hitter in college at Rice.
So he played first base in Clearwater, and Jonathan Singleton played the outfield. Then at some point Singleton was moved back to first, and Savory was moved up, but then was moved back to the mound. And something clicked because he wound up pitching in Lehigh Valley. I mean, all this happened in this year.
Yeah, and you know, he flat out admits it. He thought maybe it was over for him. It was time to use that degree from college or go finish it up and get the degree.
2-1 the count.
Houston guy who, as you said, went to Rice.
Breaking ball hit toward first, scooped up by Mayberry. 2 outs. So 2 gone here in the 9th. It'll bring Flores to the plate. Rick who just grounded out, probably knows exactly what Joe Savory's gone through with the transition. Although the only difference is Ankiel, once he left the mound, never went back to the mound.
Yeah, Ankiel really had to. Ankiel had to do that because he couldn't throw the ball over the plate. Savory, it wasn't that with him. He was just getting hit. But Ankiel had just totally lost the strike zone.
Well, he's going to have an 11-pitch top of the ninth. So nice job by Joe Savory in his second game in a Phillies uniform. His first full inning of relief work. And that takes us to the bottom of the ninth. One last chance for the Phils. Who did practice for the Eagles. The Eagles prepare for their home opener against the Giants. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night tonight at 10 after Phillies postgame live only on Comcast Sportsnet. We go to the bottom of the ninth, and Doug Slayton is the new pitcher for the Nationals. He'll face Chase Utley, Raul Ibanez, and John Mayberry. Phillies have never been swept by this franchise in a 4-game series at home. Now, when I say this franchise, I mean Washington/Montreal. Ever been swept by a 4-game series at home. They're going to need a well of a comeback for that to not happen. Well, it's mustache night here at the ballpark.
You talk about that with that's amazing too with Montreal having ever been swept a 4-game series because they've had some really good teams over the years. This is just hard to explain what's going on right now. You know, Davey's been in the game a long time, and you know he has to take it with a little bit of a grain of salt too, because you always in baseball there's 2 things you dismiss: September when you're out of the race, and spring training. But in this case, you know, he has to look at some things and think there's some positives.
Meanwhile, for the Phillies, you know, that stat's
bad.
It's not good.
They have just not hit at all since, especially since they clinched. But you know, it's getting to be a broken record, and hopefully they'll go to New York and Atlanta and just play better at the end of the season, because right now it's not going real well.
No balls and 2 strikes the count to Utley. Todd Coffey's warming up in the pen, I guess, for Mayberry. Swing and a miss. 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth. So Utley's down on strikes. 0 for 3 in tonight's ball game. Chase was 0 for 3 last night with a walk and a run scored. 0 for 2 the night before. And these fans who are looking at the last 2 outs here in the ninth inning, part of the 3.6 million that have come to the ballpark this year. Amazing.
And what energy they put in this ballpark. You know, it's been tough to last since the clinching because things have not gone real well for them. But that doesn't mean that they didn't bring it every night.
Oh, yeah.
Because the fans have. They've been great. And they'll be bringing it again next Saturday.
6 more games left in the regular season. Game 1 of the National League Division Series will be next Saturday here in Philadelphia at a time to be determined.
Against a team still to be determined.
Correct. High chopper to first. Marrero will lead Slayton, 2 outs. And here comes Davey Johnson. Boy, he's going all out on this one.
It's not that you give somebody a save here either.
So he's going to go to Todd Coffey with 2 outs.
Watch him run in here. Huh?
Well, the boos are already beginning.
That really bothered Davey.
So here comes Todd Coffey. It's going to take him some time to get in. While he comes into the ball game, we'll step aside. We'll be back after this. Hearing it from the fans. Why are you making a pitching change? You're up by 6 with 2 outs in the 9th. He brings in the righty Todd Coffey to face the right-hander John Mayberry. I have to admit that the thought did cross my mind.
I don't know.
Maybe trying to get some guys some work.
Yeah, it's not like it's a save or anything, but whatever.
Hey, Davey was funny though. Even when he was in the dugout, fans were getting on him. He said, "What do you want me to do?"
He tipped his cap when he came over, and said they're really going to bother him. Did what he wanted to do. Whatever. That was a little strange stuff.
Well, here's John Mayberry. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Phillies trail it 6-0. And Mayberry takes a strike on the inside corner.
Just had to hope that Coffey didn't blow a hammy or something running in.
He did throttle back a little bit, a little earlier than last night.
I didn't have the same adrenaline. 2 outs in the 9th with a 6-run lead.
The Phillies down to their final strike in their final home game of the regular season. Being shut out 6-0. It's 1-2 to John Mayberry. He lays off 2-2.
Well, the Washington Nationals are playing really good baseball, and the Braves are going to get them now this weekend in Washington. So we have to see if they can keep this up playing against a team that, you know, has everything to lose and a lot to gain by winning games.
Nationals, if they win tonight, will have won 9 of their last 11.
Yeah, very impressive. They're on a nice run.
With 2-2. Ground ball to third. Fair ball right over the bag down the left field line. Mayberry hustling towards second. He slipped on the bag. And he'll pull into second with a stand-up double. I think Davey's going to keep Todd Coffey in with the righty Carlos Ruiz coming in.
Yeah, I think so. Tom said this ball's right over the corner of the bag there. And an easy double for John Mayberry, even though he did slip a little bit. Right there. He skidded on the bag. That's why they try to hit the corner of the bag as opposed to going right on the top of it like that.
Slipped a little bit there, too.
Yeah.
Ruiz is 2 for 3. Ruiz has 2 hits. Everybody else has 1. It's Mayberry's, and it's outside, 1-0. Base hit to right field. Mayberry's around third, heading for home. Bernardino's throw is up the line. An RBI single for Ruiz. The ball gets away, so Carlos goes to second. It's 6-1.
And then he just had a walk-off win here. If they give an error on that or a second on the throw. Here's Davey looking at his lineup card. Well, you want to warm anybody up again, but the coffee thing has not worked out too well.
Fourth 3-hit game of the year for Ruiz. Here's Francisco. Mets scored 6 runs in the 9th earlier today. Maybe the Phillies could do that and send this game into extra innings. They charge an error to Bernardino on the play that allowed Ruiz to go to second. That's his first error in the big leagues this year. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Francisco. Outside, 2-0. Still a few batters away for bringing the tie and run to the plate, but Steve McCatty's going to the phone, and they're going to get somebody up and loosening.
I was going to say the phone just rang. Somebody went to it in the bullpen.
I think it's Storen that's going to get up and start to throw.
Yeah, this could be. They could pitch this into a save situation. Tying run either has to be at home plate or in the on-deck circle for it to be a save.
That hit by Ruiz is the first time in 29 at-bats by a right-hander that Coffey's given up a hit. There's a strike. Francisco taking all the way. Said he's been good for the Nationals. Popped up. Left side of the infield. Zimmerman is under it, and that'll do it. The Washington Nationals have swept out the Phillies here at home. The Phillies have now lost 6 straight. It's the first time in more than 100 years in Major League Baseball that a team has lost 6 consecutive games after winning 98 or more in a season. Wow. Oh, the Phillies end this homestand on a negative note, but part of this homestand was so positive because they had clinched the best record of the National League, had clinched the National League East title for the 5th consecutive year, and they'll head to New York on the heels of a 6-game losing streak. Tonight, our Chevrolet player of the game, Mike Morse, a 3-run home run, his 28th of the year. And here's our W. Mason delivery of the game, and it's Mike Morse once again.
You just mentioned Morse. Fastball looked like it was up a little bit, and man, that thing went deep into the Phillies bullpen in center field. And Morse with 28 home runs this year, and that 28th that he hit, that was a long one.
So the Phillies dropped the final game of this 4-game series, the final regular season game here at home, 6-1 to the Nationals. We'll be back to talk a little bit more about it right after this.